know, the first offshore oil drilling in the entire world began here in Summerlin, California, over 125 years ago. This is most likely because the Summerlin coast has been described by an oil drilling engineer as a giant teacup of oil shallow near the surface of the ocean floor. For this reason, there was easy access to oil, but now, years and decades later, our community has been left with over 200 offshore legacy oil wells here in the Summerlin oil field. The oil history in Senate District and the health and well-being of our community is really why we are here, and why this type of legislation has been so key to the work that we've done collectively in the legislature, working to remedy and correct some of the environmental, health, and community impacts that this has had for so many of us here. We've worked really hard in the legislature, and a few years ago I authored a bill that would change the oil and gas regulator, formerly known as the Division of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources, DOGGR, to CalGEM, giving the department new authority, an important authority to consider the health impacts of oil production when they are creating regulations and permits. Because believe it or not, before that department was not required to consider health impacts on this. So we've done quite a bit in this work as it relates to bonding as well, and the responsibilities that these companies have when things are abandoned. And we want to ensure that orphan wells are not left poorly abandoned, and that they don't become something that a taxpayer then has to clean up. And this is really where our work has been focused. And it's special to be here today because there's multiple groups and entities that have been part of this journey. Here alongside, you see former Senator Hannah Jackson, who has been historical in doing this work. Our State Lands Commission, who has worked with us, legislator after legislator, working side by side. Heal the Ocean, who has never stopped, ever stopped focusing on the need to get accurate information, accurate data, and address this problem in a substantial way. And also Assemblymember Greg Hart, who has been an incredible champion and who himself has authored some of this bill. We also have our mayor from Santa Barbara, because we know that what happens in the ocean doesn't just stop. There are no magic lines, right? That this impacts our entire coast. So I want to share that with you and point that out, because it really has been a collective effort among many folks, elected, not elected, nonprofit organizations, and the dozens of volunteers that are here that are committed to seeing a lifetime and a world and a future where we really clean this up, where you don't have to kayak out here and see all the brown, muddy, oily, ugly stuff that gets onto your kayak, as someone just shared with me. And so this has been really, really important work, and our state legislature has also tried really hard to prioritize fundings to address community needs. Our community has not stopped ever expressing the need and the importance of cleaning up the messes that have been left here for decades. And yes, and that's why after Senator Jackson authored a bill in 2017, we knew that the state funding of $2 million to cap some of these leaking oil wells is an important step, but we also understood we had to do more. We were going to need more funding. So today's announcement is really about extending that work. And Assemblymember Hart and I have been able to secure a $500,000 investment to continue that work along our central coast. Yay! Heal the Ocean has led this effort has met with us numerous times and expressed how important this work is. And specifically, with new technology coming out, our ability to create the data that's needed, that's much more precise in trying to get to these leaking oil wells is really critical to the state's overall effort. So I am grateful that I am here in partnership with so many folks, and that we're able to deliver an investment from the state to pick off on the previous work that's been done to clean up our ocean. We indeed want to heal the ocean from the challenges and the damage that has been done over the years. In the state legislature, you always need two houses to make anything work, the Senate and the Assembly. So it is my great honor to invite Assemblymember Greg Hart, who is a partner and champion in this effort, to say a few words.